Flat.
They're all just wind poet people.
Wind poet.
Flat.
All right, we're live.
Guys, where's Danny?
They're all just wind
We
poet
need Danny.
people.
Do we want the developers in here, or do we want them, you know, at their stations? You know, what do you imagine like developer like station ready looks like?
Laptop in bed.
This is how Ethereum was made.
So wait, are we live yet?
We are live. We are live, Hudson.
Yay!
You are in the 0.01% of people that have been on a live stream while inside of a plane.
He's not really on a plane. That's just his backdrop. It's a live one.
This is just a really, really good Zoom background.
Okay, so I showed you guys what. Okay, for the listeners, for the viewers, the people here in the chat don't know what my screen looks like. So you guys should go to the YouTube just so you can see the screen looks like. We have the beacon chain slot visualization in the top left corner. We got the ETH price in the bottom left corner because of course. But I know how the ETH price chart works. I don't know how the slot visualization chart works. So to kick things off, can somebody explain what the hell we're looking at?
Yeah, so we're looking for two things. We're looking at block production and participation. And so right now we're going to continue on the Goerli beacon. I'm sorry, the Goerli proof of authority testnet, and everything will sail along fine. Then when we hit total terminal difficulty, that's when the execution layer will switch to the Praetor network, and this will hopefully continue like it is. We will expect to see some changes in participation. Like we're going to expect to see a slight drop in participation. Some people aren't going to be configured right. They're not going to be updated right. That's okay. But we're hoping for at least 66% of continued participation. And that will mean that the merge chain can continue to finalize. The other thing we're going to be looking at are these blocks. And we want a lot of green blocks. Those are block proposals.
We like green. We don't like red.
We do like green. We don't like red.
Okay.
But you can see there are a lot of red blocks here. That's no big deal. As a test net, there's nothing at stake. So a lot of people will set up a validator and forget it. And so when that validator is selected for a proposal, it's not online. It's an empty slot, and we just keep going. So what we're looking for to happen after the total terminal difficulty, after the merge in about 30 minutes, is that this looks pretty much like it does. If we see a bunch of red slots, if we see participation fall below 66%, we'll start wondering why.
And also we'll see a lot of red candles, right?
Well, so here's the thing that I keep saying every time. What we see is literally a visualization. It's not the network. It's one view of the network by a piece of software developed by Beacon Chain to help us interpret what we're seeing. But really what this is tonight, this is a show. This is a way for us to come together as a community and watch it. But we won't really know until like late tonight or tomorrow how successful the merge actually was.
So this is just for show. This doesn't actually matter. Sweet.
I mean, it does, but it's what I get concerned about. What we don't want are for journalists to take what happens today, and then
Ethereum merge failure,
or they say it's a complete success, and then tomorrow the devs are like, things went really bad. We don't want anyone to interpret until you find postmortems from developers who are saying, this is what actually happened, and it went well or it didn't go well.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Very helpful. And now, a word from our sponsors. I'm kidding. We're not doing that. All right, somebody else make a joke.
The sponsor tonight is actually Rocket Pool. If you'll notice, we're all wearing Rocket Pool shirts.
I don't have a Rocket Pool shirt. I need one.
I have a joke.
Oh,
Tron.
shit. Oh.
Thank you.
Wait, what was this joke?
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Oh, I said I have a joke. Tron.
Low blow.
I've heard that joke like 4 times, and I'm like, damn it, that joke is so dumb. Why am I laughing? And it gets me every time.
So for people who are kind of new to this, we are watching bordel.wtf for timing. You can find SeaMonkey's Twitch stream at twitch.tv/SeaMonkey1982, where he has a bunch of clients kind of cycling through. And we're also watching the proposal visualization from Beacon Chain.
Okay, so bordel.wtf, this graph automatically scales, right? So it doesn't look like this blue bar is getting closer, but what's actually happening is the numbers on the X and Y axis are actually getting closer and closer and closer. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe you.
Okay. So we're approaching, the blue line is going to the red dot. When we hit the red dot, that's when we merge. But the blue line doesn't look like it's going to the getting closer to the red dot, but it actually is getting closer to the red dot.
Who knows?
Which is a really funny thing, and I'm sure Thorsten will be able to explain this to us better. I think a lot of us believed that the Goerli merge would be very predictable because it's a proof of authority network, and we're like, well, they'll target it, a month in advance, and we'll know exactly when it's going to hit. But there was still variability to that, and that is because of there is actually difficulty on Goerli.
Cool. All right.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Do you want to make someone co-host? I think there are people in the waiting room.
Oh my God. Oh geez. Oh God. All right, here we go. How many people? Oh, 11 people. Oh God. Oh God. Here, they're all coming in. I'm just blindly.
Hello,
I don't
guys.
know who sent out this link. We now have a lot more people in here. Sorry, everyone. I was making jokes about sponsors and showing the ETH chart price.
I was getting worried I was going to have to explain something, but now we got all the core devs in.
What's up, everyone? You are all live, by the way.
So everybody be perfectly silent.
Yeah, no one saying anything.
I was gonna say the blue line is going to the red dot. Oh, the blue line is going to the red. Okay, that's it.
What's the next verse?
I kind of know. So I was gonna say that aren't you responsible for developing or implementing Goerli? That was several years ago, right? How did that all come about?
Good morning.
Hello.
Did you just ask me about developing Goerli?
Yeah, I kind of remember the launch of that. Like, I remember seeing pictures or even maybe a video clip of it. How was Goerli conceptualized and instantiated?
Oh yeah, there's actually like a short clip on YouTube on launching Goerli. Yeah, the idea was it was like 4 years ago when I met with the ChainSafe team in Toronto, and we were talking about like this separation of testnets back in the day, because there was like Parity Ethereum, which was exclusively offering the Coven testnet to their users, and there was Go Ethereum, which was exclusively offering like the Ring-B testnet, and there was nothing really working in between these clients except for Robston, which was fairly unstable at times, and there was this idea like floating around to have a stable cross-client testnet for application developers that is much more reliable than proof of work. And so we first tried to implement like the parity proof of authority consensus algorithm in GAS during East Berlin in 2018. It was a lot of fun, but we completely failed and were in the end disqualified at the hackathon. But nevertheless, we had a lot of fun, and this idea was born. And eventually, like half a year later, we were able to, with some community support, able to launch Goerli the other way around. So we implemented the gas consensus engine, which is called Click. We were able to implement this in Parity and in a variety of other clients. So we were able to launch it in early 2019. We even had a small conference in Berlin. It was called GoerliCon 0. And we made some fuss around it. We had like a red button on stage, and someone had to push it. And then we created the first block, and then it kicked off. And yeah, that was a long story short. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, Goerli is now like, it has come a long way because it is, I guess, the de facto test net. So congratulations on getting that up and running.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. And I mean, I just said it, we pushed this red button. So I was basically around for the first block on my machine. And tonight, in probably half an hour, I would see the last block produced by this very same authority. So yeah, I'm looking forward to merging this. And I'm also, I want to say, I'm super happy about like how visionary the Prism team was back in the day. They said, if we want to launch a new testnet, we need to like be sure we have a testnet and there's enough resources allocated for ETH2 testing and development. And apparently, so Goerli was always the go-to testnet for ETH2 development and testing, because we had the chance with launching a new testnet to allocate a lot of resources with regards to like available testnet ether to the client teams. And so that, yeah, here we are now merging it, and I'm really happy to look forward to the next 3 years after the merge.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing that. That's a really great history of Goerli and why it's still so relevant today. Like it is, it's going to be carried forward. And I think the excitement of tonight is Goerli will be, or Crater will be the flagship testnet for the Beacon chain. And so after tonight, we'll have a much better idea of what things are going to look like for mainnet merge. But actually be good if someone wants to describe what's going to happen after today. Like tomorrow, there's going to be, I guess it's a consensus call. Who wants to maybe talk about what the flow of decision making is going to look like after this?
I can probably jump in on that. So yeah, tonight my time, tomorrow for most people is the consensus layer call. And all core devs last week, we said what we do there is look at how the Goerli merge goes, and assuming it's going smoothly at that point, hopefully it will be, then we will try and pick a tentative fork epoch for Bellatrix, which is the consensus layer upgrade that kind of gets it ready for the merge. So that's already happened on Goerli a few days ago, or a week or two ago, and a tentative TTD for mainnet. So basically the aim is in the next, 6 hours, 12 hours, is to actually schedule the merge for mainnet. It's tentative though, because there is an increase in the DAG, a part of the mining, the proof of work mining that's happening, which will just push it over what a 5 gigabyte card or ASIC could handle. And we're not 100% sure how many of them there are. So we want to see how much of the hash rate drops off, because that will affect the TTD that we ultimately pick, so that we can time the merge at least reasonably well. If it drops off a lot, we pull that back so it doesn't take too long to get there. But essentially, we're monitoring and seeing how things are going, and actually we're in the deployment phase of the merge now, where we'll set configs. So for what users should expect, you probably won't see client releases for another week or so, but be ready from about there that it's probably a relatively tight timeline between those releases going out and Bellatrix activating, because we don't want too long between when we have to set total difficulty and when it's actually going to happen, because the longer it is, the harder it is to predict the time and the greater time range that might go on.
Could I ask you to do something risky and sort of offer a prime date that people should sort of be willing to say, to pencil it on their calendar, like this is the day that would be, you know, and I know because both timelines are
in other
fuzzy.
words, when merge.
No. Like when they can kind of expect for those client updates with TTD baked in to be out, but also before the merge, because there's going to be a lot of gray space in there. But one of the questions I get is Fizz, when can I update and know that I'm going to be ready without having to continually futz with it?
Yeah, so the aim is that kind of 18th, 19th of August. So that's in a week's time. We should be seeing client releases come out, which are fully merge ready. Now, we don't have commitment on that from all teams that they can kind of prep the release with a tentative thing and get it out quite that quickly. So it might slip a bit, but around that time, you should have those final releases and you should then be able to do all the merge ready preparation, switching to using the execution engine API between your consensus layer and setting a fee recipient, that kind of thing, and not seeing any warnings in the logs about configuration not being called or some of the stuff you might have seen if you've tried to set up mainnet early. And once you're there, once you've got those updates in place, you are ready for the merge. The only thing that you then need to do, apart from the usual monitoring of your node, is keep an eye out for additional releases or changes to the total difficulty. It isn't a case where we can really easily predict things. We are expecting that we'll set these values and they will stick, and that's fine. But validators should absolutely be prepared and ready, and everyone really should be ready for us to say, possibly fairly last minute, hey, something's happened. All the miners have dropped off earlier than we thought, and we're never going to reach TTD. We're going to bring it in closer, or hash rate suddenly spiked. Someone's trying to attack the chain. We're going to push it out, or whatever it is. There may be changes, so just be ready for that and watching for client updates.
Thanks very much, Adrian. And so Adrian is from the Teku client. If you ever have any interest in setting up a client, Adrian is extremely knowledgeable and glad to help. So we always appreciate your time. Thank you.
It looks like Sassel is in the waiting room, David.
No, I'm here. He let me in,
Oh,
finally.
someone let you. Okay, great.
You let him in?
How'd he get in here?
I mean...
Oh, man.
Is that the guy that won the dance?
I think he did say he wanted to dance.
This is a very good point, Hudson. This is Sassel's opportunity to dance while we do Jonathan Mann's song. I think it's got to happen.
Wouldn't it be better on the mainnet stream though? Would you guys want it on there?
We wouldn't want to run everyone off on mainnet.
I'm the master of kicking this can down the road.
If you want to be at the Mercy's call, you have to do the dance now.
Okay, so people need context about this dance.
Oh God, someone else can give the context. It's giving me PTSD now every time someone mentions it. We didn't have a bear market. We had the biggest bull market ever after I tweeted that. And I wasn't on the
But then we had a bear market.
And then we had a bear market.
Because he didn't dance. I get it.
Yeah. I'm responsible for all bull and bear markets. I am the god of the
No,
markets.
you're not responsible for the bull markets, just the bear markets.
Okay. I'm trying to give myself too much credit.
David brings us the bull markets. Anthony brings us the bear markets. That's how it works.
This is known.
Well, David moved places like 5 times during the bull market, so that's responsible for the bear market for making arbitrary lines in the sand.
Next bull market, I'm moving to the moon. I'm just like, oh, you guys still haven't made it to the moon yet? I live here.
Move here. Move where I am. We can be real life friends.
Sir, you cannot pay me enough money to live on that side of the globe.
Oh, can I pay you enough ETH though?
We're getting closer. I'm heading in the right direction.
Hal Press tweets, Why do y'all have the ETH price chart up on the stream, lol? This ain't about price.
There's plenty of free white space on the screen, so what am I gonna do? It's more interesting than the green squares.
Somebody
DM how the hold on, I'm gonna DM him the link.
Oh, 8 people are in there. God damn it! How many people are we letting into this goddamn Zoom?
Hey, make somebody a co-host.
Okay. Well,
yeah, make a co-host.
There's
Also,
1,200 people on the stream right
I will
now.
not share my power.
He's not used to sharing power with anyone but Ryan.
Some of the people on the YouTube chat are asking what the green and red and gray boxes mean. So somebody should explain that. And it's not going to be me.
Superfizz, that's you.
I'm sorry, I'm messaging Hal.
Explain the boxes again. People are asking.
There are actually qualified people here now.
Oh, someone qualified.
You don't need me anymore. I already did it.
Green boxes.
All right, I'm going to call on Pooja.
Well, I am not sure if I'm the best person to explain this. I see Marriott on the call and other devs. But as per my understanding, green means it's all good. Red means something is going wrong, maybe bad blocks or something. But obviously, if any other dev would like to chime in.
I can handle this one. I'm good for something. So each row of blocks represents one epoch. There's 32 slots in each epoch. And we get a green square if the slot is filled with a block, which means all good. We get a red square if there is no block, which means whoever's validator was responsible for proposing that block is offline. So we're looking for green, and then gray, I think, is just like network latency and beacon chain struggling. So does that make sense?
Thank you for that, Nolan.
Are those are late proposals that could still be included in this epoch? Like they're not missed yet. They could just be late.
Yeah.
I believe.
Typically they end up being red though.
YouTube comment says, if you get 4 reds in a row, then you sink their battleship.
How much time is left? Does someone have that up?
I think 4 reds in a row is a bullish divergence. Is that about right?
All right, YouTube chat. Let me hang on. I'm gonna do some logistics real quick. So I have like everyone on screen all at once, and there's like 2 panels of speakers, and we're all really small. YouTube chat. I want you to know if you want me to switch to speaker view, and so you only really see one person, but you'll see who's speaking. But then if that happens, somebody else is gonna need to share a screen because I can't do both. So we'll take a moment and wait for YouTube to
11 minutes left.
I also want to point out we have 2 things that we want to accomplish. That is the song a day and the POAP. With 11 minutes, we can squeeze them, possibly squeeze them both in. Actually, maybe we should do one before and one after. How does that sound?
I'm down for whichever you folks want to do.
Okay.
Are we thinking like a 3-minute song? Is that fair?
Yeah, somebody just go like this when we hit 3 minutes, because I'll lose track of time.
So
hey, Nix,
this will not be.
Can you pull up the website and share that?
For anyone who remembers the absolutely awesome Ropsten call where Jonathan Mann performed for like 7 hours straight, I don't think we're going to be in that mode tonight. We do want to obviously mark the time with a great song, but it's going to be a shorty. And did we decide that we're going to use YouTube comments?
I think in the Rupston call it was 3 minutes as well, but we had a bug and we had the decimal point off by 1, so it ended up being 30.
Yeah, and today we're going to be using folks in the YouTube comments are going to be providing the lyrics for the song. So everyone pray for us.
Yeah, leave the obviously nasty stuff out.
Why don't we do the POAP stuff now, Superfizz? Why don't you do that? Why don't you get that stuff out of the way?
Oh yeah, that's great. That's absolutely perfect. Who's rolling out the POAP? Sam,
I just dropped the slide in the chat. Is Nix presenting? Nix can pull that up. Awesome. Thanks, Nix. So in order to qualify for the POAP tonight, we're using this POAP to celebrate this important moment in Ethereum history. You need to send $2 worth of USDC, RAI, DAI, ETH, or Matic to coincenter.eth on either mainnet, Polygon, Arbitrum, or Optimism. So hopefully there's lots of flexibility there for folks. And you need to do that before tomorrow, or depending on where you are in the world, 23:59 UTC, which is around 8 p.m. Eastern time on August 11th. So that's the instructions on the POAP, and I'm going to be doing the analytics on that. So please qualify by sending in your transaction, and then get you added to that delivery, and we'll tweet it out.
I'd love to hear someone qualify why we feel like Coin Center is a great recipient of these funds. And David, you might actually be perfect for that.
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, so why Coin Center? Why do we think that Coin Center is worth the funds?
Well, the current time, can I do, never mind. Well, they can't see me talking. Well, if you guys noticed, Treasury banned Tornado Cash. And so now we have this whole, like, is open source software free speech, and is that worth defending or not? And I think everyone who's in crypto is like, yeah, we should totally defend that. And Coin Center is the agency that is really like going after and promoting these ideas that open source software is a human right that we should not be able to ban. And so since in the spirit of Tornado Cash getting on the OFAC SDN list, I figured Coin Center would be the appropriate place to donate to at this present moment.
You know what's frustrating about it too is we already went through all of the code is free speech stuff. I think mostly before I was even born, and now we just randomly have to run it back and do it all again.
It's different with money this time, but yeah, it's more or less the same. It's more or less the same.
You're talking PGP, right? Pretty good privacy, and printing that out into books and then shipping it. That was interesting back in the day.
How do I go to Zoom settings?
Why do crypto guys keep saying that it's different this time? It's always the same. History rhymes.
Yeah, well, I mean, last time it was just cryptography, and this time it's money. And so, like,
I mean, but you say so every bear market, it's different this time. We have adoption.
Yeah, I mean, the patterns are similar, but I mean, now we just have to draw the line. Okay, last time was data, and this time it's money.
You know I was trolling you.
I know.
You know, along with the Coin Center thing, we mentioned receiving or making donations in RAI. I think it would be awesome, and I don't know this will happen, or I can't guarantee it. It would be neat if we were able to provide a supplemental POAP to the people who donate to Coin Center.
That is pretty evil of you.
It's pretty what?
Evil.
Me evil?
Making
Patricio.
It's many of us that will jump through the hoops for that silly thing.
You know, I just said it so I can get 2 POAPs. Yeah, so obviously I don't know how to work out, but we will have the on-chain data to find out what you contributed to Coin Center with if you choose to do that. And there is a very small possibility that we will be able to provide a supplemental POAP to the people who contribute with RAI, because as we understand right now, it is the most censorship resistant stable coin in Ethereum.
I mean, if you're promising the POAP, you have to honor it, because you're going to make James Carnley go
No, it's you now, Super. You promised it.
It's going to be a real rock hole.
If Sam will pull the data, I'll do the POAP.delivery. How's that? All right, POAP-a-thon, I'm coming your way to request a POAP.
All right, we're getting close. Should we songify?
I think. Yeah, we need a song. We need music.
Okay, I'm gonna be singing the YouTube comments. So Jesus Lord, let's just go. All right, everybody in the YouTube comments, be nice. Singing that rocket pool party, girly party, flippening, we can do it. Oh, Nancy Pelosi, merge it, the merge. Yeah, I like girly girls. I like girly girls. We can do it, play Metallica instead. Metallica's dancing, I love ETH. And merge it, flip it, and then merge it. Smash that ETH, smash that ETH. Smash that ETH, panda, panda, panda. Smash that ETH, panda, panda, panda. Smash that ETH. Verge, where is Vitalik? Oh, pump it, oh yeah. Is that about 3 minutes? I don't know.
That was awesome.
That was about 3 minutes.
That was
Wonderful.
great timing.
Thank you. Good timing.
Those comments were so freaking fast. I don't know how.
Yeah, I like literally, it was moving faster than I could.
Well,
You can
when
see-
you engage with the commenters, you encourage them.
Yeah, it sets it off. It's like lighting a fuse.
Can we just appreciate that the sealers on Goerli managed to make this an Aussie-friendly merge time for a change?
Thank
Really
you.
nice of
Thank
them.
you. This light on the side of my face, that's sunshine. I don't think an Ethereum call has ever seen that before.
I haven't seen. I've seen that in person only.
Oh,
not
who
on
let
there.
Danny in here? What's up, Danny?
Hey, Jonathan, what's that on your
Yo.
hat? What's the logo?
That's Club NFT. It's a really great company. They help you back up your NFTs. Really great idea.
Right on. Thank you. I couldn't tell.
My buddy Art Gnome.
You owe Bankless a lot of money for the ad spot, by the way.
Yeah.
David will send you the invoice later.
It looks like we're really close to TGD.
Payable in
3 difficulty to
Goerli
go,
ETH.
so 2 blocks at least.
49
3
seconds-ish. So let's switch to the, if we're not already there, to the visualization, slot visualization.
1 or 2 blocks to go now.
And so, oh, actually, no, we want to see pandas. Take us to a panda view. That's the important thing.
We've got the logs. I think we're on that, right?
I don't know what we're seeing on the live stream. Oh yeah, okay, I see the logs down there. And so the big thing we need to remember is this is not going to tell us success or failure. This is for fun, to be together, to watch it. But we will learn over the next 2 hours. Lots of pandas.
Yeah, where are the pandas?
Trent says we can mention after.
I see terminal block detected.
So I think we decided that Nimbus had the
I
best.
see panda.
Yay!
We're
Panda!
probably gonna have to up our panda viewing game for mainnet.
That's
I really like Teku's
Finding
panda.
lag on
We'll get some live pandas, and we'll
Hey, I
make
got
sure they're
one.
on the stream.
Is that a promise from you, Anthony? Is that? you
Yes,
promising
I'm
that?
going to bring 2 live pandas to the mainnet stream. You can count on that. I promised that, like I promised the dance.
I'm seeing something
That's
interesting.
implied now. Now every one of your promises is a promise like the dance promise.
Okay,
On-
so Raul
on-
says the first block has 299 transactions. That is great. We know that one of the bugs we kept seeing was empty blocks after the merge. So the first block having 299 transactions is fantastic.
On Geth logs, I saw filtered out non-terminal POW block, which I think means, some of the clique signers are continuing on, which is expected and interesting, but, fine.
I
don't even have a drop of peers here, which is impressive.
Geth terminates after 3 minutes, I think. Is that right, Marius?
POW? I don't think so. I don't think they'll turn off the gossip stuff until at least finality.
Okay.
No, but it stops mining, right?
Yeah, it should.
Okay.
So the last time I made some mistake, and I'm not sure if I actually fixed it. But I need to set up my own network and try it again. to make sure that we actually shut down the miner. But
nonetheless,
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
we iterate over the same block. We iterate over so we build on top of the last terminal block. But it's actually not easy to shut down the mining software from within Geth because we can only not provide work packages. And if we do that, then the mining software will still query us. So it kind of depends on your mining software, whether your GPU miner will actually shut down. But the click miner should shut down automatically. I'm not sure.
We also know a number of the click signers didn't even upgrade. So like their software doesn't even know about TTD and they'll just keep mining until someone turns them off.
Apparently not, because in Click you need at least 51% of the authorities online, and I think this is not the case for the non-upgraded. So we have less than 51% not upgraded, so the old chain will just stop at this block.
So they'll be attempting to continue to do their job, but won't be able to.
Yes, they basically wait for someone else to sign.
Hey, I actually heard a great suggestion. Since many of the
at least
stakeholders are here,
51% of them
Danny, Tim,
authorities
and
online, and I think
the implementers.
This is
Since if we wait, for 2 finalized epochs, can we go ahead and maybe just do mainnet tonight since everybody's kind of here? Just like.
Yeah, I mean, if you say so, that's probably reasonable.
Legit.
That's rough consensus of.
That's a
Doom.
literal suggestion.
So wait, you're
Traders
saying all we
driving
had
the
to
candle.
do was ask for the merge this whole time, and you guys would have done it?
Yes.
Yeah, the basic team here, we're thinking no.
Yeah. I mean, I think if our main threat model or our main goal is getting the ETH PO dub folks to go, well, what WTF made, then it would be a great idea. But probably not the best for security.
Vitalik, that's probably the reason why you're not the benevolent dictator, right? Because you would just let us go ahead with it.
I'm wondering whether Beacon Chain actually updated their code. Because they don't seem to be.
Yeah, it seems like Beacon Chain is struggling here.
Yeah,
I think that happened on the last one too.
Yeah, that did happen on the last one.
I'm seeing a lot of blocks. What was the percentage participation pre-merge? Just so I have an intuition for what it should be post-merge.
It was around 90%.
90? Okay, so we should see about 1 in 10 slots missed, and that would be stable.
Remy, can you or someone summarize? So I've kind of zoned out since the pandas. What's our progress in the first epoch? Is it what we expected to see? Is it significantly different?
Like from what I'm showing here, it seems like maybe we're struggling a little, but we're progressing. We'll see more in a few minutes how these next epochs are being justified and finalized. I see that epoch 734 was just finalized.
Is 734 the first merge epoch?
I believe it is, yes.
So we had, looks like Beacon Chain is showing 88.2% participation. Looks like 3 missed blocks. If Beacon Chain is up to date, then that is that's pretty impressive. Like that means we would have lost 3%, and I was really predicting like 10% due to missed updates.
Yeah, we're not sure. I don't think Beacon Chain shows us the epochs after.
Yeah, Zane, do we have a good metrics dashboard?
I can see sync aggregates are down by about sync aggregate participation is down by about 25%.
So for people who are watching, we're in this kind of post-merge phase where now we saw the pandas. That's the fun. Now it is kind of waiting for everything to come in, all the data to come in, watching epochs. It takes 6.4 minutes for one epoch to finalize, or well, to justify, and then another 6.4 minutes for it to finalize. And our real goal here is to see a finalized epoch after the merge, which will take about 12 minutes. So right now it's really a watching and waiting and seeing what the data looks like. And again, we never see the whole network. Any person or any dashboard only sees a slice of the network that is their slice. And that's why we can't really assess the entire network until we're looking back at it.
Do we want to talk about the POAP again for a second?
Yes.
All right.
Always.
I am going to share real quick the POAP.
You want to talk us through it this time, Nix?
Sure. So to get the POAP, all you got to do is send $2. $2 equivalents of USDC, RAI, DAI, ETH, or Matic on mainnet, Polygon, Arbitrum, or Optimism to coincenter.eth. If you don't know how to use an ENS address, go to Etherscan and look up coincenter.eth. You can do that for the next, I think, 22 hours until 23:59 UTC on August 11th. Okay, well, it's going to be more than like 48 hours because there's a typo on this. So it's actually going to be for almost 2 days. You can send USDC, RAI, DAI, ETH, or Matic on any of these 4 chains. And
could you explain why would someone do that at all? Why would they care about having a collectible of such this time?
Get out of here, Patricio.
No, it's fine. Like, why does POAP matter? It is. So, do you mind if I?
If only we had the founder of POAP on the call to tell us why it mattered.
So
I kind of
to ask the question.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the funny thing is, Patricio is the founder of POAP. He really is supportive of the beacon chain of proof of stake, and he really supports all of our efforts to incentivize the community to participate by helping us offer POAPs. And so people think of POAPs in a lot of different ways. Many people, the idea of them is they're bookmarks of your life. I call them kind of a grown person sticker collection. And so really what we want to do is give people who were here an opportunity to kind of bookmark that moment in their life by receiving a POAP. And so we can't just open the floodgates and give them to everyone because then they end up being meaningless. And so we found a way that we can kind of slow that down to people who really want to receive one by asking for a donation to a worthy cause. And so that's why we asked for a donation to Coin Center. In exchange, you get a POAP that you get to add to your sticker collection. And it's really just a fun thing that we do to kind of mark time, and it's really great to look back at your POAP collection. I can see my POAPs from like the Prism Topaz net testnet. Thanks, Preston. And Arrow. Like seeing that historical sequence of events is really a way for us to emotionally connect with the chain, and that's what's fun about it.
And I'm just going to say, if you guys don't like that there's a spam prevention mechanism that we're doing right now, there's a POAP call every week, and then you can come and talk about what you think would be a better method to prevent spam on the POAP network.
Or you could DM Michael on Vedica and just yell at him.
Trolling. More trolling, seriously. I heard about merge art. Can we talk about merge art?
Yes, I'd love to. I don't know if anybody can share a screen, but if anybody has it handy, you can grab that link that I just dropped into the chat. But yeah, so where do I start? So I'm a member of Staple Works, which is a cultural, let's say it's a cultural organization that does creates artifacts around Ethereum upgrades and just celebrating the work that core devs are doing. Thank you for sharing. And previously we've done 2 projects, Beacon Book and 1559 NFTs, and many people were asking if we're going to do something for the merge, and I'm excited to say yes, we are doing something for the merge, and it's an exhibition called New Home of the Heart. If you're interested, you can go to Stateful Works Twitter. There's a thread there pinned, and yeah, I'm working with JPEG, which is an NFT curating platform, and as well as Sofia Garcia, and we are putting together this exhibition of a bunch of different artists. We're hoping to get to 10. We're going to announce 5 of the artists tomorrow, but yeah, so all of these artists are participating in this. We're going to have a mix of old work and some new work that's going to be auctioned off. There'll be some additions, and all of it goes to the Protocol Guild, which is a collective of 119 protocol contributors. So that's my spiel. It's a really awesome project, and I'm excited to continue doing art and public goods funding type things. So if you're interested in participating, go check out that thread. There's more details. And this actually is completely stealth until this moment, but we're also doing something similar to the Beacon Book, where it's going to be a collection of commentary and perspectives from core devs who worked on the merge. So a lot of amazing stuff coming up. Go follow Stateful Works and JPEG linked in that thread, and hopefully we will have you participate in the exhibition, read the upcoming collection of core contributor perspectives when it comes out, hoping it to be live maybe a week before TTD on mainnet. So yeah, thank you for letting me talk about those projects.
So it has been a while. It looks like, oh, interesting. It looks like slot visualization for Epoch 113735. It justified with 68.42%, which is actually great. We would obviously, like, you'd want that higher, but all you need is 66%. And so there's going to be some question about what led to lower participation, and it does look like we have
It's
2, 4,
weird.
6, 8.
Yeah, it's like we have 8 this. Well, the weird thing is that it like would drop from 90 to 68 in the middle of an epoch.
So we've seen two different terminal blocks. Basically, in Click, you have you either mine a block with 1 difficulty or 2 difficulty, and we first had a block with 1 difficulty, I think, and I was later switched to a block with 2 difficulty. And so in the logs, we also saw 2 different pandas, 2 different times, and the beacon chain reorged. So it might be expected that like the participation within the epoch is different. Or like changed.
I see.
What do you mean dropping down halfway, Vitalik? Are you talking
so
about
like
sync
if you,
committee?
Like, yeah, I mean, like sync participation is what I'm looking at, right? Like if you look at like Predator.beacon chain epoch 113735, like the numbers drop from 90 to 68, about where, yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait, so basically you're saying that what's going on is that we had like 2 different chain tips, and the beacon chain reorged from 1 chain tip to the other chain tip in the middle of an epoch, and that's why it's
well, the merge also happened in the middle of an epoch. Like it happens at a slot, not at an epoch boundary. So that might also be what you're seeing.
Oh, I see. Right.
What was the merge slot? The last 3 digits.
735, I thought, or 734, I believe.
No, that's the epoch slot.
Yeah, but the drop is at 3639529.
527 presumably is the merge block.
Right.
I also have a merge block on 557. That's the second one. And so it seems like roughly 15%.
557.
Yeah. Slot 3639557.
30 slots later than 527. That's interesting.
Yes. And it looks like roughly 15% of validators might be on the wrong fork. But we should see them come together when we finalize.
Wait, but shouldn't they just agree because of the fork choice? Or
yes.
Isn't 15% more like validators not being upgraded?
Yeah, I mean, do we know of this alternative persistent chain, or is that a guess? Because there's also, I think there were some clients, there's a client team that had some resource constrained machines, and that was an issue. There might be another issue as well.
I can't see any blocks on top of the 557 block. It's still listed as a head, like an alternative head in Lighthouses.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but I have like 3 Lighthouse gap nodes that are all listing 15%. That's why my guess was that they're all on the wrong fork.
The way that those metrics work is that it kind of just the graph sticks to whatever it saw last. So if you see the good fork and then you see the bad fork, the metric will stick on the bad fork until it hops over. It's just those
Makes
metrics.
sense.
It's kind of tricky without costing a lot of processing power.
Makes sense. I'll switch the logs, check that.
Yeah, I can see mine just like went in a trough of 15% for a while, and now it's bumped back up to 66%. So I'd say that that's it, following the correct majority chain until it reaches an epoch boundary and then resetting the metric.
Harry, what's the estimated percentage that is controlled by EF, client teams, etc.? Do we know?
I think we're between 70 and 80, if I'm not wrong.
And do we know the percentage of that set that that has known issues like the resource constraint issue?
I don't know yet.
So I think we're nearing that point where we observed the merge. We saw, so I believe epoch 113734 was finalized, which is isn't that the first epoch after the merge? And now we're seeing some things that may take longer to interpret. But I do think that is our Goerli merge.
Yep.
So what we'll look for people to do over the next 6, 8, 10 hours, developers will kind of dig into this. They'll take it apart. They'll continue to analyze the chain. As I've said a lot of times during this call, the things we're seeing now aren't necessarily the best way to interpret how the merge went. It would be easy to jump to a conclusion now and say, well, we're down to 66% final participation, even though we're still justifying and finalizing. What we'll really wait for tomorrow, I really look for tweets from people like Tim Byko, Danny Ryan, Vitalik, Perry, and Marius. Those are really the people that I would follow to kind of see how did it work out and how did it go. So, yeah. Let's thank everyone for coming tonight. Do we have any other programming notes?
Hey guys, Mariano here. I just want to say that tomorrow ETH LATAM begins. It's going to be 3 days of Ethereum talks in Buenos Aires. If you're not there, it's going to be live stream, ethlatam.org. So yeah, just wanted to say that it's going to be a cool 3 days.
Mariano?
Mine is tomorrow at maybe 3:30 p.m. I'm closing out the first day. How about you?
Saturday, I think.
Great.
And so-
yeah, there's going to be some cool guests. So Yep. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Mariano. And tomorrow morning will be, I think it's a consensus call. Is it consensus, Danny?
Yeah, consensus layer call in about 12 hours.
In about 12 hours. And if you're interested, that would be the juiciest place to tune in on the ETH.
Yeah, we will be
Foundation
talking
YouTube.
about this, certainly.
Yeah, you'll get all of the nitty gritty. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming tonight. Thanks to Bankless, David, for hosting. And we're all looking forward to something kind of like this in a few weeks for mainnet. It should be a really exciting event.
Yeah,
How many weeks did you say?
How many weeks?
More than
weeks,
one.
not months.
I like to say, it has always been measured in weeks, right? Like, it depends the unit you choose to use.
Hopefully not too long. If you measure it on weeks, it is a floating point.
Yes.
Can we push it into October, though? I'll be back from Oktoberfest then.
Yeah. Don't forget that Jonathan Mann's song will be for auction on SongaDAO. What is it? Jonathan, remind me of the
Songaday.world. It'll be up for auction.
Songaday.world. It'll be up for auction. And feel free to claim a POAP in the next, I think, 48 hours we have. Yeah, it's been a great time. I'm glad everyone came out.
Woo! Thank you all
Weeks,
for
not
joining
months,
me
guys.
and Bankless.
Later.
Appreciate it. This is the biggest Zoom I've ever been a part of. So I'm going to speed run through all the things that we say at the end of Bankless. ETH is risky, crypto is risky, DeFi is risky. You can lose what you put in. We are heading west around the frontier. It's not for everyone, but we are glad you're with us on the Bankless journey. Goodbye.
We're glad we're here too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks all.
Thank you.